everyone. Welcome to our webinar. This is introducing Slab Scanner integration with Moraware Inventory. Today on the call, we have Evan from our sales team. He's going to go over a Moraware Inventory demo at the beginning of this call. And then we have Chelsea from our product team. She is going to go over the Slab Scanner integration. So just some housekeeping. This webinar is being recorded. We'll send out a recording either at the end of the day or beginning of tomorrow once that's available. If you have any questions, you can look at the bottom of either your web browser or your Zoom app, and there should be either a Q&A icon, or you can click the More button, and then there's a Q&A icon right there that you can click and submit the questions. We'll try to get through those toward like the end of the webinar, but if we're not able to, we will follow up after. So just submit your questions as you see fit. We'll also have a poll towards the end. So if you just want to keep in mind, as you see both the Moraware Inventory demo, the Slab Scanner integration, just think about kind of what features you would like to see most be added, and then we'll collect those at the end. There's also a survey that'll show up at the end of this webinar that you can fill out, and we'll take that information there as well. I think that's enough for me. I will now hand this over to Evan to share his screen.
All right. Hey, everyone. I'm Evan in sales. What we're going to do here is go ahead and run through a demo of Moraware Inventory and not focusing on the scanner at all. We're going to look at the baseline software so everyone can get an idea of how it works the whole way through. So I'll go ahead and I'll share over my screen here. What we're doing is we're starting in Systemize because currently Moraware Inventory does require Systemize to get started. So we're looking at a standard Systemize job here. And now keep in mind, this is going to be kind of a generic demo. If you like what you see and want to see more about the software, go ahead and schedule an inventory demo with us. What we'll do in that call is actually tailor this a lot more to your specific process that you work through. And within this call, we're going to see what existing material we have. We're going to order material. We're going to receive it, consume it, and then create a remnant. And throughout that, just show the general process of ordering and managing your inventory. So first off, in this job page, what you'll notice is a new material column. And each of those has a little blue material button. What we're doing is allocating material directly to an activity. I'm going to do the first activity where this goes from being a full slab to no longer a full slab. So cut. When I hit material, that everything turns blue. We're now over in the inventory side of the software. And what you'll see here at the top, this stays married up to that systemized job, but more specifically to that activity with the relevant date. So we don't need this material for 6 months later. You can keep an eye on this for when you actually need that material in your shop. First off, let's see what we have on hand. So my wanted button here, my from inventory button here, that's going to show all of the material that you have on hand, whether it's a full slab or a remnant, but it's only going to show what's still available. If something's already connected to a job or allocated to a job, it doesn't show up here. So you don't accidentally take jobs from another or slabs from another job. You can filter material, color, bundle. If we had images, you would see them right here. And basically, if all we needed was one slab here, I can hit add. That's going to now commit that slab over to this job. And if I were to open Systemize, you can see in here, it'll tell you next to that activity how many of what details we have. That icon is showing the current status. So in this case, this is on hand. It's ready to go. And in my forms, you can see more detail. See where this is. Is it on hand? So this is how it connects to Systemize. And as we go through the process of ordering, receiving, that status is going to update accordingly as well. Back to inventory here. Let's say we actually need to order material for this job. So I'm just going to remove that allocation. That keeps that material in your inventory, but now it's no longer committed to this job. You can use it for another. Instead, now I'm going to hit the wanted button. And this is where we start communicating to the system what we actually need for this job. So I'll say 3 slabs, granite, black galaxy. You'll have all your materials and colors in here. You can enter in whatever other information you have. This can also be entered in later if you need. In this case, I'll go ahead and I'll provide a bundle and we'll add serial numbers later. Same for location, but maybe a cost per slab. So once I have these details in and I hit add, this is now communicating to the system. These are the slabs that we will need for this job. You can either add those to a PO later, or in this case, I'm just going to go ahead and order now. So order, select those. And now it's going to have us choose our supplier. You'll have all your suppliers in here. And when I do, now we're working on an open PO. So from here, you can continue to build off of this. You can add more slabs, add sinks, whatever you need. Up here, I have mine auto assign a purchase order number. You can hit the edit button, customize that number, maybe even say when you expect to receive this material in. And then once this all looks good, we go ahead and close it out. You'll still order from your suppliers the same way you do, whether it's portal, email, whatever it might be. But here I've put together a form. In some cases, your suppliers may just take this as a purchase order. But in general, you just get to keep this for your records. So you can always look back and see what material do we order on which PO for which job. So that's the ordering workflow. Next up, we need to receive the material into our system when it comes in. So I'll go to my slabs view. This is sort of your master view for material. My initial one is just showing what's on hand. So you can see what material is allocated directly to a job. And you can see what material is just not allocated. Here is an image that I have in here for reference. So whatever you put in here. What I'll do is I'll save views for different purposes, just like Systemize. In this case, here's my ordered material. So this would be a list of all the material we've ordered, but we're waiting for it to come in. Now, as it arrives, maybe we'll tell it where these should go, what row, what rack. And then we can say receive, select those slabs. And then when I hit that again, now it gives us the option to apply serial numbers. If you already have serial numbers from your supplier or otherwise, you could punch those in right here, or just let the system generate those for you. Now, when I hit apply, they're going to fall off this view because we accomplished the goal of this view, which was to receive the material. So I hit apply. It's now received. Now we find that in our slabs view. There's Evan's kitchen. We now see those 3 slabs are on hand, but they're actually line itemed out because now they have their own individual serial numbers, though they do all stay married up to the original bundle ID they had here. Last step, crucial step, is consuming this material. So what we'll do, we'll go back into our material management view for this job. Now we'll hit consume. Let's say we ordered 3 slabs, but we can get away with just 2 on this one. So I'll select these 2 and I'll hit consume. That's going to now update the status on those 2 and make it clear, hey, these are the 2 we cut. We still have an extra one on hand. You can make a note here to return this. Otherwise, hit your remove allocation. And again, that's going to keep this in your inventory, but just to make it available for another job next time you sell a Black Galaxy. If you don't care about remnants, job's done. A lot of you do, though. So let's go ahead and create one. Select the slab that it came off of, split that slab, and add the rem. And what you'll do is kind of give it the square fabrication area here. If it's kind of an odd offcut or a funny shape, good idea to throw an image in here, maybe make a note about it. Probably a good idea to assign this to a new location. If I expand these details, you'll see, again, this maintains the original bundle ID the whole way through. And you can always look at this rem and trace it back to the PO to see what did it originally come in on? What job did it come from? You can trace all those details back. But that right there is the details to create the rem. So I hit save. We now have that rem in our system. We can go find that whenever we need it. Next time we sell a job that needs that offcut of Black Galaxy. I didn't talk much about syncs. Just know it's a functionally identical process the entire way through, ordering, receiving, consuming. Only difference is people usually allocate that to an install activity since that's when you'll actually need it. Just to touch on it briefly again, POs, here's a record of all your POs. You can always trace back see what we have out there. And finally, reports. Currently, it shows what's on hand for slabs and sinks. But jumping in here, you can see how many of each type, each material you have. If you've been able to stay on top of costs, you see what you have financially tied up in each material. How much do you financially have tied up in material in general? That's kind of the quick overview of inventory here. We really tried to make this straightforward to make sure that people will actually follow through this process. That's ultimately the key, is that everyone follows that workflow we showed here in whatever order makes the most sense for your operation. But each of those steps getting nailed down consistently means that you've got a clear picture of your inventory, clear picture over what you need, what's coming in, be able to make use of those remnants, be able to just have a handle on your inventory in general.
Thank you, Evan. Um, Chelsea, I think we'll now switch over
Great.
Slab Scanner.
Okay, hi everyone. I'm Chelsea. I'm the product manager at Moraware. I'm going to share my screen here and we're going to talk about the scanner integration. So we have partnered with Horus to offer a direct integration with the Horus Iris Slab Scanner. We're also actively working with Park to integrate with their SlabVision scanner, but that is currently in a limited early access phase. So if you're interested in that, I'll talk about how you can contact me at the end of this so that we could work together on that. But when the integration is enabled, slab photos and slab dimensions automatically sync from your photo scanner into Moraware Inventory when the serial numbers match. So the integration also provides options for automatic remnant creation. So you saw Evan define and create a remnant. If you're using the integration and you're using the scanner's layout software and defining your remnants in there, that remnant can be automatically created in Moraware Inventory using this integration. And all the metadata like material, color, image, and size, and a link back to the parent slab will come back in. So that will eliminate the need for manual remnant creation. Our hope is that this provides a faster, more accurate way to manage your slabs with a visual confirmation and hopefully a reduction in duplicate data entry. So let me dive into how you can set this up. So first, an admin will need to come into settings and click on scanner integration. They'll be prompted to enable this integration and confirm that they want to do so. And that's step one. Step two is creating a Slab API user. So in order to connect via API with the scanner, you need to have an API user to do so. And each API user does have a per user cost, which is $50 per user. This is the only cost to the integration. So you'll need to click to create an API user. And here we recommend that you name the API user after your scanner for clarity. So when you're seeing change logs or things that are happening to the data, you can say, oh, okay, that's happening via the API. We have a new role that we created that is automatically selected for Slab API. We recommend that you keep this there and don't change it. This role provides all the necessary details that an API connection would need and all the credentials it needs without giving it things it doesn't that an admin might have access to. Click save, and you've got your step two is done. Step three is creating and saving an API key. So an API key is like a password, and it shouldn't be shared with other people. It needs to be stored securely and safely. And when you click to generate an API key, this API key is only shown once, one time. So you need to make sure you're clicking to copy it. You can either click here to copy, or you can highlight and drag to copy. But you need to keep this so that you can share it with Horus in this case, or if you're working with Park, so that they can enter this information in their system to make that API connection, to have our systems talk to each other. There's no charge for API keys. So if for some reason it gets lost or forgotten, you can generate a new one. Step four is remnant creation. So if you're using the scanner's layout software to define the remnants, you can choose to have remnants automatically created. By default, we have do not create here, but you can just click edit and confirm and say that you want to auto create them with the image and the parent link. This is editable. So if right now you're not ready to set up remnant creation, but you think you want to in the future, you can just come back in here and edit this choice later. Same for vice versa. Say you've got it turned on and you want to turn it off for some reason, you can come in here and edit that step anytime. It won't mess up your setup or anything. It will just bridge that connection. The last step, step 5, is just confirming that you have shared the API key and details with the scanner provider so that they can complete the connection on their end. So you're just kind of confirming here that that has been done, because if you don't do that, the setup isn't fully complete. So complete, confirm, and then setup is done. So on our end. For Horus, they have a software app called Fusion Drive, and there is a store in there and where you can request the Moraware integration. And once the request is submitted through that store, it gets routed to the Horus support team, who will reach out to you to coordinate the next steps and manage the setup process. If you're working with Early Access Park, you'll be working directly with me, and I will help you with all of that communication. So once this is turned on, you will now need to make sure that the right people can see and edit the details that come over via the API. So we have added some new security permissions. So under users and roles, I have my inventory manager here. So I want to make sure on this new permission that appears only when it's enabled, that my inventory manager can manage all of this. So update permission here, that allows this person to manually link scanned slabs that came over. And I'll talk a little bit more about that and walk you through how to do that in a bit. This delete permission allows them to delete data that has come over via the API. And for view permissions, they only need to have read on slabs and sinks. So everybody will be able to view the data. It's just whether or not they can edit or delete data. So once I've given my inventory manager the right permissions, I'm all good there. So now on my slabs page, I'm going to see a new icon here for scanned slabs. This is going to show me all of the details that have come in via the API. So once everything is set up, you receive your slab and you're ready to take an image at your scanner. What you're going to do is you're going to enter your serial number of the slab in Moraware. So in this case, I'm going to enter this number at the scanner, and it's going to automatically pull up all the details that you have entered in Moraware Inventory. It's doing a lookup by that serial number as the unique identifier. So it will pull up the material, the color, the size, any metadata for that slab on the scanner so that you don't have to enter it again after you've already created it in here. For all things here, you have to have the slab and serial number created in Moraware Inventory first, because without that, we can't make sure that the right slab is aligning, the image is going to pull to the right slab. So we're using the serial number. It's very important you have unique serial numbers. For remnants, you don't have to define the remnant in Moraware Inventory first, but the parent slab does have to exist and have a serial number, because we're going to use the parent slab's serial number in order to associate that remnant. So in this table, you're seeing all the data that came over, whether or not it linked automatically. And this is how you'll be able to tell, like, if something didn't link or it linked incorrectly, or any issues with the data we received. So here we can see we've got the scanner serial number. So this is the serial number that the scanner has. Remnant of will indicate if it's a remnant. It'll be blank if it's not. The size that the scanner sent over, the image, you can click on it to see bigger version. And then we're going to jump into, this is the details that it linked to automatically. So it linked to this serial number. That link happened automatically. This is the status of that slab. Here are the slab properties. If there was any sort of issue with the data we received, it would show an import warning. Like an example of that would be that we weren't able to automatically create or link the remnant because maybe we didn't have the right parent serial number or something like size was missing. It's not going to be very often that you will run into any kind of import warning. It will be most likely a rare use case. And the rest of the fields here are timestamps or logs about what changed and when. And the source is going to be your scanner, which will likely be the name of the iris and maybe the version of the software that Horus is currently using. So here you'll see at the bottom, I've got 2 slabs that came over that did not link automatically. Here's an image of it, here's a size, here's a serial number, but there's no details here in linked slab. So now I'm going to go see, okay, what happened? Or maybe vice versa. Maybe you're looking at your slabs and you say, I was expecting this serial number here to link. You'll be able to tell that it didn't link, first of all, because there won't be a photo, but second, because at the bottom you'll see unlinked. This is where those permissions for your inventory managers comes into play. So if you want someone to be able to manually link something that didn't link, you'll want them to be able to edit this. When the slab scanner is functioning and the serial numbers are all entered correctly, all of these details will happen automatically. The image will pull in automatically, and you'll see the link to the data that came in. You can remove it if it was linked incorrectly and you have those permissions to edit. But in this case, let's say we have this serial number. We were expecting the slabs. We took a picture. We expected it to link automatically, and it didn't. So we can click here and click on unlinked, and I can say, oh, someone just mistyped. Instead of 1-3, it's 3-1. So they just fat fingered it, and this is the one that we want. And we can see that this is the one we want. So I'm going to click on that. It's going to say, are you sure? We're going to override the serial number. And you're going to say, yes, this is it. And now you're linked, and you can click save. It's pretty easy. So now back on the scan slabs page, you'll see all those details are linked now, and you fixed the problem. In this case, same thing. This one didn't link for some reason, so you can go find the slab that you want it to belong to and fix it. Now let's talk about remnants. So here you'll see these remnants came in. Here is the serial number that was sent over, and here's the parent. So this remnant did not exist in our system yet, but we created it automatically. And if I click on it, I can see all the details. It creates a full record. If I click on this, I can see, okay, here's the image. Obviously, these aren't scanner photos. These are my pretend photos because I don't have a real scanner. I can see the link here, and then here's all the parent details. And I can click in to edit or see the details of the parent as well. But all this information will automatically pull in. So you'll see material, color, thickness, finish, all the details pull in directly from the parent and the scanner. I think that covers it, but I'm guessing there are probably a few questions, so I'm going to go check on the Q&A.
Thank you, Chelsea. And I did enable a poll too. This I mentioned at the beginning. If there are any like improvements or features that you would like to see in Moraware Inventory, this would be a great time to fill that out and let us know. Again, you can fill that out in the survey. While Chelsea looks through the questions, Evan, if someone doesn't have Moraware Inventory and they're interested, what are the best next steps?
Yeah. So here, let me share my screen here. Here's the inventory page on our website. So if you do not yet have Moraware Inventory and you're interested, this is the best first stop here. Take a look at this page, kind of scan through some of the information here, and you'll see both at the top right and towards the bottom here, we have get started, book a demo. That would be the best next step. So what I recommend for that, try to include on that demo, which plan for about 45 minutes, give or take. Try to bring in the people who are responsible for ordering, receiving, and consuming your material. Always best to have, at least those 3 main people on the call to cover the workflow. What we'll do during that call is get a better understanding of what you're currently running for your inventory process, a little bit of the challenges your team's running into and what you're looking to improve. And then what we'll do is we'll dive into a screen share similar to this, but tailor it more to your team's specific inventory workflow. As much as possible, we want to match it up to what you're currently doing, while obviously trying to provide some extra benefit in what the system can provide in terms of that visibility, that streamlined workflow, keeping everyone on the same page. Because the system, any good inventory system, requires so much that everybody nails down their part of the process. That's why we really recommend having each of the people for that process in there. If you do not yet have systemized, inventory does require having systemized in place first. So I'd recommend starting there first. We can touch on inventory during that call, but Systemize is its own product, its own robust system, phenomenal system once you have it in place. But it's key to make sure that that's going to line up to what your team needs, and that we can help provide value on that side of things to get that in place before you would add inventory on. And I think most of you are probably already inventory customers, so you know our sales process. It's a zero pressure sales process. Really, our goal is to understand what you're doing, what you're needing, doing our best to match up what the software can do to that process and try to deliver value to make sure it's worthwhile for you. But for that, we always recommend include the main people who will be using the software, the main people who you want to be getting value out of it. And yeah, schedule a demo with us, reach out with any questions if you need to ahead of time. But I'd love to talk with you.
We do have a couple of questions that came in. A couple are more generic to inventory, and then just a couple for the scanner. So just looking at inventory in general, one of the programs that came in is what is the or one of the questions that came in is what is the process for adding existing remnants to the program? So right now, are you sharing, Evan?
Oh, I can stop.
That's okay. I'm going to share my screen here. So taking the scanner integration out of it, if you are loading your inventory in here, you're getting started, you're loading up all of your inventory that you already have. You'd come into settings, reconcile slabs, and then you would click on hand. And here you can add all the details. And if it's a remnant, you just click remnant here in the size drop down so that we can make sure that we know that it's a remnant and mark it as such. Another question that came in was, is it possible to print an identification label for the remnant? Yes, we do have labels. So here you can print multiple labels by multi-selecting, or you can click on one in particular slab if you just want to print one off and click on the label icon. I have not defined a form, but under your settings, labels, you can create a label form that has all the information about the slab that you want to include on your label, and you can print from there. Hopefully that helps. Can the inventory be assigned to a job? So yes, that was a little bit of what Evan was trying to show here. It assigns to the activity for the job. So it doesn't assign to the job as a whole, but you can see the job name and the activity name here. And you'll see that in Systemize too. So if I click over here to that job, I can see that material here allocated. Can we see an example? So this is going into scanner integration now. Can we see an example of how a remnant is automatically created? Not really, because I don't have a scanner, so I can't emulate that process. I don't have a Horus scanner or Horus's software, but basically my understanding is they have a layout software where you're laying out the job and you're figuring out how you want to cut the slabs. And then when you're doing that, you can define the remnant. You can say this part here is the usable, savable remnant. So you're outlining it, defining the size. And then when you publish that, or I'm not sure the exact button name, but you click a button to save it. And that automatically sends that remnant details over into our system via the API. And then when it comes in, that's when you'll see the remnant will just appear here on your slabs. It'll be here with an image. Like for this one, you'll see there's the image. If I click here, there you can see that it linked. It came over through the scanner. You can also see it on the Scan Slabs page. So let's see, there's a couple more coming in. So I might need a second to sort through them. Plans to work with Slabsmith. So as of right now, we don't have any active plans, but we are in communication with them about the potential possibility of that. But I don't have any real commitment or updates to share at this time. Let's see what else we got. Is it possible to auto import existing slabs from SlabVision inventory without entering each one manually? No, so we're not using their inventory system to pull all the data in like in a bulk upload. It's just when you're taking the photo, the slab already has to exist in our inventory for us to say that photo goes with this slab. So our inventory is the source of truth, essentially. And then you're taking the photo on their end, and once you receive the slab, and it associates with here. So there's no way to bulk import any previous data. And there's a lot more questions in here that I think we might have to answer individually. So I'll probably just reach out to people, keep typing your questions in there, and I'll make sure to reach out to you individually to get all of them answered because they just keep coming in. So it might take a while to get through them all.
For sure. This is a hot topic. And as we brought Chelsea in for this first webinar, of course, this is the one where we're going to have a lot of questions for her. So thank you, Chelsea and Evan, for jumping on and showing us all of this. Just as a reminder for everyone, I will send out the recording. We'll also include in that links that we went over, just like an overview of some of these knowledge-based articles, as well as the park early access form if you'd like to fill that out. So everything will be there. And this next month in May, we will have another webinar, but we'll focus on Systemize. So just look out on your email for that. If you're signed up for our webinars, or if you're signed up for this, you'll receive some email reminders. And again, thank you for your support and all of your questions and feedback provided on the poll.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.